everybody, and welcome back to another amazing episode of Sister Talk Live with Terrie-Ann. I am your host, Terrie-Ann Charles, and joining me very soon will be my co-host, Denisha Daniel. Today, we will be speaking on the topic or discussing the topic on locking your opportunity. This is going to be an amazing episode, guys, because we are going to be talking about how you can maximize your opportunity, how you can seize your opportunity, identify your opportunity. Listen, I don't want to give away everything right now. I want you to go ahead, grab a pen, grab a paper, because you will be taking notes. You need to be taking notes. All right. Invite your friends and loved ones, even your enemy. Go ahead, share the live. Go ahead and share the live with everybody. All right, guys. So what I want you to do right now, do me a big favor, is let me know how you are doing in the comments and what you are grateful for today. Talk to me in the comments because I would love to read what you are saying in the comments, what you are grateful for, and let me know how you are doing in the comments. So see you soon. We will be right back. We'll be taking a word from our sponsors right now. At the Wrap Trick, we create beautiful, stylish, and vibrant head wraps to help women feel confident and express their style and their vibe. We teach women how to style their head wraps confidently for every and any occasion. You can find us on our Facebook page at The Wrap Chick and also on our Instagram page at The Wrap Chick _. Our telephone number is 537-2384.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today, we are going to start off with the question of the day, and I'm going to turn it over to Terrie-Ann, who's going to pitch that question to us, and we're going to discuss. We embrace you in the comment section to discuss with us as Terrie-Ann poses that thought-provoking question as she usually does for us to have a discussion.
Hello, beautiful people. I hope all is well with you. And we would love to see you chatting in the comments because this question is a real provoking one, Denisha. So let me ask you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever feel like a hypocrite? If yes, why? Let's just discuss this question. Do you ever feel like a hypocrite? If yes, why?
I'm going to say yes, but it's not for the reasons that you're thinking. I know you may be like, oh, Denisha thinks she's a hypocrite. Let me tell you why.
Denisha's a hypocrite.
Let me tell you why. We tend to think hypocrite is when you're talking about people, right?
Yeah, gossip.
But not in that sense. I feel like I'm a hypocrite if or when I advise people and I don't take the same advice. So I feel like that's when I would consider myself to be a hypocrite. For example, I'm in the financial space. So if I tell you in an advisory setting that, you know what, you need to put your affairs in order, it's wise to do so. You need to do estate planning, get into insurance, do a will and all of that. And I'm all bold on the advice, and then I don't do it. I'm like, yeah, that's being a hypocrite.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it is, and I think I am as well. I think sometimes I am a hypocrite because why? For the same reasons like what you just said. But for me, I'm in the space of encouraging people, uplifting people, helping people to see themselves and to be the best versions of themselves. And sometimes I will go all out and encourage you. Listen, you can do this. All you have to do is have faith in God. All you have to do is trust in God. God can do all things through you. All things are possible. And then when a situation hits me, the same advice that I just give you, right, Denisha, I'm not applying it to myself.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I start to procrastinate. I start to cry. I start to beat up myself.
Mm-hmm.
I start to be very hard on myself, judgmental, and
Right.
be very mean and not giving myself grace. And it's like, hold up, Terrie-Ann. Okay, so if you just give Denisha, using you, all this beautiful advice, even
Mm-hmm.
affirming her and believing so hard for her. Why it is you can't believe in yourself and do the same thing? So I think I could be at times, especially when I'm faced with difficult situations, like the very first thing that comes to my mind, instead of saying, Terrie-Ann, you can do all things, don't look down on yourself, keep strong, keep the faith, because these are the words that will come out of
Mm-hmm.
my mouth first. If I'm encouraging someone, I would do the opposite. So it's no, I don't I don't take my own advice. And
I think
that's, I
it's
think that is being a hypocrite.
I think we do it more often than we think, though. And I think it's linked a little bit to what we spoke about when we did, I think it was 2 episodes ago, when we
Yeah,
spoke on unlocking your identity, and
yeah,
we addressed all these different fears and the reasons why we don't do certain things
mm,
or be in the identity we own.
exactly.
I think that could be hypocrisy as well. And that's one of the reasons why I don't accept certain speaking engagements, not because I don't want to, because I feel as if I'm not being genuine toward the topic.
Yeah,
I've not walked it out. So speaking on it feels disingenuous. Word
yeah.
of the day, disingenuous.
What that one means?
Not being genuine, I think.
Okay.
Not being.
Okay, okay. I know a lot of our viewers probably thinking, oh my God, I never thought about that. I
Mhm,
always thought to myself that being a hypocrite means that I'm gossiping, I'm talking about
mhm,
somebody um, in the confinements of my home or in the confinements of my space. Because, have you ever, maybe I'm jumping the gun, but let
mhm.
me ask a question. Have you ever come across like two persons speaking, right? And you just get the feeling that they're speaking about you.
Yeah,
That ever happened to you? Like you're
yeah,
passing by two persons speaking, but you just, in your mind, you're thinking to yourself, OMG, this person is speaking about me. Because
yeah.
of the vibe, the feeling, you feel something in your spirit.
Sometimes the air changes, so to speak. There's something that's different, that gets different about it when they are. Does that bother you
Sometimes,
though? Yeah.
we're human.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it's like, what on earth could you be speaking about? But then again, listen, so it could be two sides to this thing, Danisha. It could be the
Mm-hmm.
side where, listen, these people don't even know you, they're not even talking about you. And even if they know you, they're not even talking about you. But because of how you look at yourself, because
Yes.
of how you think about yourself, and we going right back to unlocking your identity. We spoke about some of those things. Because of how you value yourself, you just think that
Mm-hmm.
everybody God created on the face of this earth speaking about you, which is not really true. But then
I
sometimes if they are, it does, to me, I'm at the point where it doesn't really faze me. At a moment, it probably might try to get under my skin, but then
mhm.
after a while, it's like, you know what? I couldn't care less.
Yeah, it's the insecurities and the fears and stuff like that, and the bad self-image that causes us to project our own negativities on others, and people probably not even bothered with you. They probably don't even know your name well enough to say anything. But yes, I agree. I agree that certain times we could project some of our negative feelings on others when they're really innocent in the matter. So you're right. You're
Yeah,
right. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So, guys, there are two sides to this thing and two sides to being hypocrite, right? So, it's a side where you really beat up on yourself, or you try to, you live like a double standard life with yourself. Let's just say.
Right.
So, you try to tell somebody something and you're not knowledgeable enough about it, but or you've never walked the walk, you've never experienced it,
Mm-hmm.
and I think in itself that that is being
Hypocritical.
hypocrite. And then there's the other one. Sorry, guys. And there's the other one
Sinuses?
where other people, speak about other people and so on and so forth. Let us
Yeah,
know what you think about it in the comments below.
please.
All right, so we'll take a word from our sponsors and we will be right back.
Excelsior is a finance coaching and micro business consulting company established to facilitate the creation of personal wealth through the practice of financial management disciplines and business creation. We personalize experiences by offering a suite of tailored services which would enable persons to achieve both their financial and business goals. We are inspired when you advance financially.
And my beautiful host, Denisha Daniel, is here with us again for another episode. Denisha, we love you, we thank you, we appreciate you. So, guys, let us know in the comments. We're quizzing you right now. We just want you to tell us the topics we spoke about for the last two episodes. So, tell us the name of the topics we spoke about for the last two episodes. But today, we are speaking or discussing this topic. I would want to say more like a discussion, conversation on this topic, unlocking your opportunity. Denisha, today we're talking about unlocking your opportunity. This topic is really deep. It's like deep and wide.
You had me digging,
But we are
you had
going
me
to cover this.
searching far for this one. Okay?
I'm really excited about this conversation because I believe there are going to be a lot of takeaways from this. Guys, if you are here with us and you don't have a pen, you don't have a paper, run quickly and get yourself one because I think you will need to take some notes.
You
Denisha,
will.
am I correct?
You definitely will.
Yeah, yeah. Let's
Mhm.
talk about what is an opportunity, right?
Okay.
So I have a definition here. It is the most opportune, appropriate, or favorable time, occasion, or combination of circumstances that reveal the potential for advancement, for progress, and for success. And this is a mouthful. This is a
It
lot.
is.
It's like, wow, all that is an opportunity. But
Mhm.
if I were to define it for myself, Denisha,
Mhm.
my simple definition will be a divine appointment or open door. One of the
Ah,
good things about opportunities that I just want to share is that sometimes we fail to see what the opportunity brings. And
mhm.
it also allows us to progress, to think better. It allows us to grow. It allows us to become successful, to create the life that we so desire, the life of our dreams. It also allows us to shift and it also allows us to pivot. So let me know what you think is an opportunity, Denisha. What definition?
Wow.
So somebody comes up to you and say, "Hi, Danisha, what do you think is an opportunity?" What would
I
your definition be?
This is the Denisha definition because I didn't Google this. Terrie-Ann's definition is so broad and
It
so
is,
weighty. I think
yes.
an opportunity is a moment in time for you to capture or grab a hold of to do
Mhm.
something differently. I think that's
Yeah.
the best way I could describe it. So I like to use examples. An opportunity is you walking along the road and you get to a crossroad and you have to make a decision at that point in time
Mhm.
which way you want to go, and it's based on where you want to arrive at.
Yeah.
So that's how I think I could define opportunities. And as you were speaking, I a scripture came to mind. I had
Mhm.
to research it, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's from Ecclesiastes 9:11. And it
Mhm.
says, again, I saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, or the battle to the strong, or bread to the wise, or
Mhm.
riches to the discerning, or favor to the skillful. Rather, time and chance happen to them all. And I think this ties in nicely with your definition of what an opportunity is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
Um,
love the fact that in that scripture which says time and chance.
you
Time.
mentioned time too. When you did your definition, you mentioned something about a favorable time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And in all that you said and the scripture, I think they tie in so nicely. Sometimes we think when we see somebody prospering or being successful, we think, oh, this person lucky. Or we see them doing something that maybe we would have wanted to do, and we think, yeah, it's because of the family they were born into.
Yeah.
Or they father know people. They have a
Yes.
godfather. You know how we
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, they
But
had lips.
they are links. But
Mhm.
this scripture clearly says that it's not about them being skillful, not only about them being skillful, discerning, wise, strong, or quick. It's time and chance. It's so I take it to mean that in addition to the skill, the wisdom, the favor, and everything they had,
Mhm.
everything that they had, when it met with time and chance, gave them the opportunity to be successful, to be prosperous, to be in places of influence. That's what I took from it. And I think it ties in so succinctly with what you said, in that it's opportune, it's appropriate, it's a favorable time for advancement and progress. So, yeah.
I believe that because I have seen where I would have gotten opportunities and it came at the right time.
Right.
So I am so happy that we are talking about this because we just also want to bring some clarification to what some people would think is an
Mm-hmm.
opportunity. And we would be talking about like how can one identify their
Mm-hmm.
opportunity. So you there and you're saying, but yeah, how can I identify my opportunity? Have I
Mm-hmm.
missed my opportunity? Do you think that I would have given up on an opportunity because of X, Y, and Z? So we will
Mm-hmm.
be talking about that. But then, Isha, let's talk about how can one identify? How did you know, or how can you identify an opportunity?
Well, in the words of a friend, let me go back to come forward, right?
Yeah,
Um, the time factor that we mentioned earlier, I think it's so critical, and it's important that we don't overlook it, right? Because
yeah.
opportunities are tied to time. Think
Mm-hmm.
of it as rain constantly falling, right?
Hmm.
Opportunities are always there,
Yeah,
right? So think of yourself, imagine yourself standing out in the rain. You're not going to catch every raindrop if you try to catch it, right?
true.
It's based on the timing of when the raindrop falls, your position where you're standing.
Yeah,
If your hands have oil on it, the raindrop is going to slide off. There are a lot of factors involved. So I think it's
yeah.
very critical that we not overlook how much opportunities are linked to time, right? And that's the first thing we need to identify. And we also, when we understand that there's a timeliness attached to it, there's
Mm,
also preparation that needs to go into it, right? So
yes.
there's a quote that I heard from Dr. Cindy Trim, whom I love to listen to. She said something to the effect that opportunity stalks the prepared, right?
Yeah.
And I take that to mean that whenever you're prepared for something, opportunities would present themselves constantly because you're at a place of readiness to embrace the opportunities.
True.
So
True.
one way you could identify opportunities is by looking at what you have been preparing for. So let's consider, for example, you've been reading a lot on goal setting. And I'll use goal setting because that's one of the topics that you and I had discussed on an earlier episode, right? Not this
Yeah.
season, but last season. So,
Yeah.
goal setting. If you've been studying goal setting, preparing your goals, doing vision boards, everything that you could possibly think of where goal setting is concerned. And then there's an opportunity that comes up. You don't see it as an opportunity, but you're scrolling through Facebook and you see that there's a call for consultants or speakers or something like that to do a pitch on goal setting. You've been preparing all this time. So
right up your alley.
Somewhere something clicks that, this looks interesting, then you pursue. So I think preparedness has a huge factor to play in identifying opportunities. Tell me what you think.
I think so too as well. And as you said, getting yourself ready, you must be ready for when an opportunity presents itself. Life is full of opportunities. Mm-hmm. Whether you believe it or not, life is pregnant with amazing possibilities that you and I and everybody else could get. You know, we could get those opportunities, but we have to be in a place of readiness in order to get it. And one of the things that while I was doing my research, one of the things I came up upon is that with opportunities, they present themselves and then they move. So they don't wait for you to make a decision. They're not negotiable. They're not like, okay, then I'll wait for you. Opportunities is like, okay, then these are my terms. You take it or you leave it. So if you are not ready for an opportunity, the opportunity is going to slide by. And these are just some of the ways that you can miss an opportunity because you're not ready for it, which is why we cannot waste time.
There's that word again.
Critical factor in how our opportunities or how opportunities presents themselves to us. And if we are wasting time, then we are not working towards our dreams. We are not building ourselves. We are not building our vision. And also opportunity is also attached to our faith.
Right.
I really wanted to put that in. Opportunities, they are attached to our faith, how much we believe in our dreams, how much we believe in ourselves, how much we believe that we can push forward and do what we need to do. So we just need to just have an open eye to see the opportunity and seize the opportunity when it comes, but also be prepared for the opportunity. And you might be there wondering, how can I prepare myself for an opportunity? One of the ways you can prepare yourself for an opportunity is, as Denisha just said, your goals, setting a goal, but also setting your goals down, but also writing your vision for your life. How you see yourself, where you want to be at the ending of 5 years. What are the things you need to do to get there? So you write your vision, you make it plain, just like in Habakkuk. Talk about writing your vision, making it plain, and so on. You know, you write the vision for your life, you set goals, you set timelines. And this is where, when you have timelines, then you know, if I am, let's just say me, I'm writing a book and I want to be able to have that book at the ending of the year, I know that even if things come up that would try to push me back or prevent me from continuing to write the book, I may come across some obstacles, some challenges, I know I still have to pursue because I need to get that book published at the ending of the year. And with opportunities mainly comes to us in the form of crisis. So you might have this big crisis, Denisha, happening in your life, challenge, something like a rejection and so on. We have to see the opportunities in those things.
Yes, that's true. That's very true, because most times, especially when you look at people who we deem extremely successful or influential in the world, they didn't come there from a place of comfort, right? There's a quote that says, comfort is the death of greatness, something to that effect, right? Nothing grows out of your comfort spaces, right? So as you would have said, in the midst of crisis, in the midst of pain, frustration, uncomfortable places, that's where opportunity is revealed if you're open to looking for it, right?
Yes.
If things happen that are outside of your control, it's outside of what you're used to, the tendency, as they say, the fight or flight response kicks in,
Mm-hmm.
and some people try to claw their way back to what is familiar. But if in the midst of what seems chaotic, what seems painful, frustrating, uncomfortable, or even a crisis, if you're open to it, you could see that there are several opportunities hidden within those places of discomfort. And I think a lot of times we miss opportunities because we have an emotional attachment to our places. So we
Yeah.
have emotional attachments to titles, we have emotional attachments to jobs, status, to an achievement. We have made our home, right? Our place of safety in those things. And in making those things our safe space, we are not able to see opportunities because we're blinded by the
I
achievements
don't.
and the accolades at that point in time. So we don't see opportunity in those moments.
That's so true. That
Mhm.
is so true. And one of the things, as you were saying, that I remember when I left my job, right? That was like 2, 3 years ago. I just want to share this because I want to show you the opportunity that came with it. When I left my job, I did not have a plan.
Yeah.
And I just want to say this before I move forward, that if you are thinking of leaving a job to start a business or to do something else, I would recommend that you have a plan. One of the things that you need, you put a plan in place. Let's just say, put a
Right.
plan in place, especially for your finances. So make sure you have enough money saved up in an emergency fund. And this is Denisha's area. So she would let me know if I'm going wrong and so on and so forth. But make sure you have enough money for at least a year, 6 months to a year. Make sure that you know that when you are leaving, you're going to do whatever you're going to do,
Mhm.
and so on and so forth, right? And then sure you'll piggyback from that and just add
Mhm.
more to that with the plan in place when you're leaving. When I left my job, I had no plan. All I knew I wanted to get out, and the opportunity presented itself to me at that particular time for me to leave. I did not see it as an opportunity, but after reflecting and so on, and just thanking God for His goodness, I realized that was the opportune time for me to leave at that
Mhm.
time, the way how it happened. So, the way how it escalated, guys, it wasn't like, something nice, Denisha. It wasn't, it happened like in confusion. So you see
Yeah.
how the opportunity presented itself for me to, okay, Terrie-Ann, you have been talking about leaving for a while. You have been saying that you hate your job, you don't want to be here. You know, you have been talking and saying those things. So the opportunity presented itself in the form of misunderstanding. I don't want to say confusion because I don't want us to get it the wrong idea, but let's just say misunderstanding. And I left my job. Mind you, I did not have a plan. But then the beautiful opportunity presented itself, and I grabbed a hold of it very quickly, where I decided, okay, then I'm going to go full-fledged into my business. I did not have money. I did not have someone who was there to, although people think to themselves, well, okay, she has a husband and husband would help her. You know,
Mhm.
people go around saying those things, but I couldn't care less. It's me. I had to know what I wanted, and I knew what I wanted, and I took the faith and I took the risk to actually go all out to having my business, and look where I am today. I'm not where I want to be. I'm not there yet. But from just looking back, I just wanted to make a relation from just looking back to the
Mhm.
opportunity that presented itself for me to leave,
Mhm.
and then the opportunity again that presented itself for me to start, and to not really start because my business already started, but for me to really go in fully into business and being an entrepreneur presented itself, and then look where I am today. So opportunities are attracted to people who are hungry, who are not satisfied with where they want to be, who just want more out of life, and who's ready to take risk. And like I said, I
So
think in one of the previous thing that I am, the previous episode, that I am a risk taker. So for me is like I see the destination, but I don't know how to get there. And that is what opportunity is. Opportunity gives you the destination, but it doesn't give you a GPS. So you have to figure it out. And how am I going to figure it out? Lord, I don't know how to do this. So I'm trusting you. So now that is where my faith and me relying on God to really, God, it's me and you in this. You had to help me because I don't know how to. And God will navigate everything through.
I I'm glad you said that. There's a lot of things in there that we can unpack, but listen, this topic is so vast that I don't feel like we have enough time to
Yep.
flesh it out. But there are a few critical things you said in there that I just wanted to pull out and add a little bit more meat on it.
Yes, please.
You spoke about not being prepared, you not having a plan, sorry, but
Mm-hmm.
you were prepared because, like you said, you were speaking about doing your business for a while, and you were able, even in the midst of that situation, to jump straight into a business without waiting too long to figure out what's next, right?
Yeah,
You figured out the business process along the way, but
yeah,
knowing that starting a business, you knew that was your next step.
yeah,
I wanted to jump on the chaotic state of it, right? Not confusion, the chaotic state of it. Because
yeah.
what I've come to realize, and this is closely linked to the faith point that you mentioned once or twice before, what I've realized is that whenever God has a definitive call on your life, and I don't want to use religious jargon to get people lost because we tend to swing these and spin these
Yeah.
along the way, right?
True.
But for every individual that the master created, there's a definitive plan for their life, right?
Yes, yes.
We a lot of times get distracted and do what we want, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whenever time meets with opportunity, it doesn't matter if you're on left or right. If this is what needs to be done, destiny is going to create some sort of ripple effect that gets you on the path that you need to get on. And then you are presented with a choice or the option to either go in the path of uncomfortable or return to what is comfortable. And
Mm-hmm.
that reminds me of something I heard Bishop T.D. Jakes say something I heard Bishop T.D. Jakes say a while back is that God has to sometimes make your nest uncomfortable for you to move, because
Yeah,
if he does not disrupt the nest, you would stay in a place of comfort. And it sounds to me like that's what happened to you. But
yeah,
bigger than just pulling out your situation or isolating your situation, we need to see it as a framework for how opportunities work, especially when they're aligned to what God wants you to be doing in a particular time. Situations become, as Terrie-Ann said, uncomfortable, chaotic,
mm-hmm.
distressing,
Mm-hmm.
frustrating, because it needs to push you out of what you consider to be comfortable to seize an opportunity to do what your purpose aligns you to do. That's
Yeah,
what I took out of all of this. And
yeah.
I think opportunities are like that.
Mm-hmm.
They are, while the opportunity may be, um, what I want to say, it may be just a generic opportunity, so to speak, but
Mm-hmm.
you being able to seize it makes it very genuine and unique to you. So, okay, a lot of people have online talk shows, but nobody does Sister Talk Live by Terrie-Ann the way Terrie-Ann would. And she was
Yeah.
able to see an opportunity and capitalize on it. So I'm saying all of it is to say that if you ever find yourself in a place of distress, discomfort, frustration, chaos, and all of that, seek the opportunity in it that could ease what has been frustrating you for a while and what you have been preparing for, probably unknowingly, for a long period of time.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad that you said that, and I'm glad that you mentioned that sometimes with opportunity we can have chaotic situations, and you would know as an individual, ladies. So let us know in the comments below, how, sometimes, you are faced with opportunities, but then how it actually started. How did you know, and how did you identify it? Because frustration, pain, and discomfort are just some of the ways that you could actually identify an opportunity. And then frustration is also an indicator, Denisha, for persons, for us, sorry, for us to prepare ourselves for the opportunity.
That's true. A lot of times things we're frustrated about, they tend to hint to us solutions that we could provide. So I'm going back to your example about your job, Terrie-Ann. You would have been frustrated in it for a while. And after leaving, you didn't seek another job. You started a business because there was a problem that you on the inside knew you could solve, and you weren't solving it at the job. And this is not us telling you to run away from your job if you're upset with
Please,
somebody. Okay.
please, please.
Right. Right. There are people who I believe are skilled and gifted to help other people build. And then there are other people who are skilled and gifted to build. So don't go running away from your job because you think that's what Terrie-Ann and Denisha are trying to tell you. No. We're just asking you to seek opportunities. And a lot of times when we think we miss an opportunity, that doesn't necessarily mean the opportunity is missed. Terrie-Ann, you ever notice that sometimes you probably want to do something, right? And you stick a little bit on doing it. You procrastinate for a while, and then up comes somebody with your idea.
Your Lord have mercy. Yes. 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 I could give you 1,000,001 thing.
That's because
Yes.
I feel as though I try not to make it sound too airy flary, but I feel as though the earth is pregnant with opportunities, like you said. And for a specific time, there are things that need to be done. And if the dream, the vision, the passion, the desire is downloaded in you and you don't like activate it or act upon it, that does not mean that it does not have to happen in that time. It just means that if you didn't do it, it's just
Somebody
not
else.
going to be done with you.
Yep. Somebody
And
else goes to it.
and I think it's such a privilege that God, in his divine authority, decides to choose us to do something. And then us in our little rude self, through procrastination, would be like, yeah, God, not yet.
That is not for me.
Listen, if it needs to get done and you don't do it, honey, it's going to get done. It makes more sense, I think, to seize it. When it comes to you, run with it. If you need to get help, get the help. But when an idea drops in you, it's not just because of chance. It's happening because time demands that this be done now. Could you imagine if the person who thought of the internet just decided, yeah, let me wait a little while?
Yeah.
Do you know how many things could have been hindered? And so many other things could have been hindered. But the
Yeah.
person who did that seized the opportunity of the day to create the internet. Or could you imagine right now a caveman coming into 2022 to chip stone to make a wheel? It's like, bro, the time for that passed already.
Yes. I mean,
Yeah.
just think about those things, because sometimes we sit back, right, and we
Mhm.
think to ourselves we cannot, which is why I am so big on pushing people to do the things that you are called to do. Don't do your own thing. And I always say, make sure it is you hear from God and this is what God wants you to do, because you will be wasting time, and you cannot afford to be wasting time when you have a lot to do, because we
Right.
have a lot to do. And a lot to do, meaning you have to educate yourself, prepare yourself, position yourself, and then do the work. So we can't afford ourselves to be wasting so much time.
Right, right.
So we just have to do what we are called to do. Even if it's hard, even if it's painful, even if it feels as if you have been rejected, and you came up with a brilliant business idea, and like all who you telling you that's not a good idea, but you know in your heart that this is what you're supposed to do. You feel it in your spirit, you dream about it, you wake up with it on your mind, you go to sleep with it on your mind, then do it. Don't care
As
about who is trying to tell you what and what not to do, and trying to you feel so rejected because you don't want to do it. You don't want to do it, you feel so rejected, and it's like you forget about it. And then what makes it even worse is that you see somebody else doing the same thing, Denisha, that you wanted to do, and you feel like, oh, this person steal my idea, and you start being jealous of the person. You
yeah.
start having hate for the person. You start developing feelings that would cause you to feel rotten
Right.
inside. So go with it. Go for it. Do it. Do it.
And just to encourage you, if this, I really hope this is speaking to somebody, but for those who think that, okay, yes, I hear y'all, but I have the idea, but I need this and I need that. Let me tell you, opportunities don't come alone, right? When
Yeah.
opportunity opens a door, it brings the resources, it
Yes.
brings the connections, and
Yes.
everything that you need to properly and thoroughly execute that idea. The opportunity brings it and everything else that you need. So what it takes for you is a step of faith. You have an idea, make a step towards it, and you would realize in stepping, everything that you need presents itself along the way. So think about a relay race, right? The person who's at the first leg of the relay has the baton and he leaves off and he's running. But the person on the third leg is standing there knowing that they have to go to person number 4, and they're trying to figure out in their head where the baton coming from and how
Yeah.
I reach and where I'm going. When the second leg person is close and third leg man starts to run, doesn't the baton reach?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it has to be in successive movements. You have to keep moving,
Yes.
and everything that you need is provided along the way. So that's all I'm saying. Don't
Yeah.
sit and try to figure out from start to finish. Things are
Yeah.
revealed in time. Whatever is revealed in that time, work on that revelation, and then it comes. What I mean by revelation, if an idea comes to you, execute that idea, and then other ideas would come along the way. And Terry, just to go back to our beginning discussion, I'm saying this and I feel like such a hypocrite because there are things
I know, right?
there are
I
things
can't
as
lie.
I'm saying it, I feel like I'm talking to myself and it's like, okay, but you're saying that, darling, but there are things that you have to do that you haven't done yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't do
Yeah.
as I do as I say.
Guys, the most amazing thing with opportunities, right? Opportunity comes like in different ways. So we talking about opportunity of business. We were just on that, but it could be an opportunity where you have to bless someone. It could be an opportunity where you get to travel. You think, because I remember my brother got an opportunity to go to the States, and he's a different person now. And I was telling my mom not too long ago, if my brother was here, he was going to be on weed and with hanging out with the wrong crowd and getting himself in trouble and so on. Now my brother is in the States. An opportunity presented itself for him to move to the States, and now he's living in the States. So it could come with that. It could come where you get some finances, where you get land, where opportunity comes in the simplest ways, sometimes that we are blown away. It's like, oh my God, God, did you just do that?
Right.
I mean, I don't know if you think about it that way, but for me, I'm a Christian and I see opportunities as
In everything.
uncommon
Favor.
favor. from God, uncommon blessings, things that don't just happen ordinarily.
Mm-hmm.
Extraordinary things happen. So I see those things, opportunities like those. And I just wanted to let you know that opportunity presents itself in like different forms, different ways for you to start a business, start a brand. You
Mm-hmm.
get money, you get land, you get a house for free, you know,
Right.
all those things. As I said before, the earth, life is pregnant with
With opportunity.
opportunities.
Before you jump to the next point, something I just wanted to add, just so people could be aware when they're seeking opportunities and all of that, is you need to be sure that when opportunities present themselves, they're the right ones. And I know this could be daunting to even think about, but
Mhm.
Terrie-Ann would have mentioned it earlier, where she believes that opportunities are tied to faith and to your destiny and purpose and all those different words you could think about. So, for example, if you would have made a vow to yourself, right, to never eat KFC chicken again, right? And somebody presents you with an opportunity to have a bucket of KFC fried chicken, that is not an opportunity for you.
I'm glad you touched on that point. So we will go there. We will go there because there are some
Let,
opportunities that presents itself and it's bad for you.
yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. So as as Christians, it's easier because we have the Holy Spirit to guide us. Some other people call it an inner voice, a gut feeling. Some people just they just know, or they have the knowledge and the wisdom and the acumen to be able to decide. But however you phrase it, please be aware that not every opportunity that presents itself is an opportunity that you should embrace. It has
Yeah.
to be tied to your core values. It has to be tied to something deeper. So just because it sounds like a good idea, be sure that it's an idea that is tied to your intrinsic values. And that's
Yeah.
how you know it's an opportunity for you.
Yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
just wanted to piggyback on what you were saying that when opportunity comes, and you said it, Denisha, and you said it so beautifully, it comes with everything attached to it. It
Right.
comes like a full package. You
Mm-hmm.
don't see it like that. It starts to reveal and unfold itself as you go on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as you go on in life, as you go on to pursue, as you go on to chase. But there are times when opportunities present themselves and it allows you to, because you have high standards and values,
Mm-hmm.
it allows you to compromise.
Right.
So for instance, you don't steal. An opportunity comes where, okay, then you don't steal, but in your mind is like, Lord, I need $5,000. I need $5,000 to do X, Y, and Z. A beautiful opportunity comes where you could get the $5,000 plus more plus tax. But the things you have to do in order to
Mm-hmm.
get the $5,000 plus more plus tax is going to discredit you
Right.
and bring you to a place where you have to compromise. You would have to do things that you have never done before in
Mm-hmm.
order to get it. And you might say, oh, that's a beautiful opportunity. I could grab a hold of that. Look, I get in double what I've
Right.
prayed for. God, thank you, Jesus, for blessing me, opening this door for me. Hello, this is not a door that you need to go through. I just wanted to say that because sometimes some opportunities presents itself beautifully packaged, but then
Mm-hmm.
when we get into the nitty gritty of it, it's going to cause us more pain than joy, abundance, success, growth, and everything
That's
else.
true. That's so true. So
Yeah,
we said a lot. We said a lot. I hope you guys have been making notes
please.
because there's a lot to understand when it comes to opportunities, identifying them, being able to see which ones are best for you, being prepared for them. There's a lot we could see. And I think your pain points are very important. Um, we kind of spoke about it a little bit before, but in things that cause you your greatest pain and frustrations, I think there are opportunities for you to make a difference. It could be on an individual level, it could be on a familial level, it could be on a national level, but your pain points, things that cause you your greatest pains and your greatest frustrations, who knows, hidden in them could be an opportunity for you to do something great.
Exactly, to
Mhm.
become something great. You are destined for greatness. This is one of the things I always speak over myself, affirmation. I'm destined for greatness. So if I'm destined for greatness, opportunities of greatness is definitely going to be attracted to me,
Yep,
you know?
that's
So
true.
we attract what we speak.
Hmm.
And opportunities like to grab on to, grab onto us because of what we desire, as I said,
Hmm.
our visions, the goals we have for ourselves. They like to grab on, but they don't stay very long. They
Yeah.
they come, they here, are you going to take me now? If not, I'm moving on to the next person who's ready for me.
Right, because as we said earlier, opportunities are attached to time, and just as time waits on no man, the opportunities won't wait either, which is why you
Yeah.
need to be prepared. And especially if you feel like doing something for self-development, not a time wasting something. So you feel like enrolling in a public speaking class, and then you see that there's an opportunity for that to be done, do it. You may not know why yet, but who knows that if 5 years down the line an opportunity comes for you to travel for public speaking, that is not the time to go enrolling in a public speaking class. You should have already been prepared as a public speaker to capitalize on that opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we miss a lot of things because of that.
Yeah. Denisha, I
Yeah.
wanted to put this in before we start talking about maximizing opportunities, right?
Hmm.
Um, Sometimes we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. I've done it. I'm sure you
I
have
do
done
it.
it.
Oh
In a
yes, I have.
case where what I want to talk about is like as young people, as young women, especially our single women, we're married. Ooh, it feels so good to be married, right? But I wanted to make this point, guys. Don't get me wrong. I wanted to make this point where, we put timelines and timestamps on ourselves. So I
Hmm.
remember when I was growing up, I said I wanted to be married by 30, have a child or children by 35, and all the things that we do, get a
Hmm.
boyfriend, do this, do that, have a house, and we live happily ever after. And we put so much pressure on ourselves that when these things don't happen to us, then we think we have missed an
Right.
opportunity. I missed the opportunity to get married. I missed the opportunity to get a good man. I missed the opportunity to have children, and then we're thinking like all these things are bad things, and we start
Right.
beating up ourselves and putting ourselves, causing a lot of pain inside.
Hmm.
Sometimes, yes, we would have missed those opportunities, but then sometimes the reason why we did not get it, or these opportunities probably didn't come our way, or these blessings, let's just say, didn't come our way, is because we wasn't ready for
Right.
them. So I just wanted to leave that point out there, that don't beat up yourself if you think you're not married yet and you're jealous because Terrie-Ann married, or you're jealous because Terrie-Ann have a child, or you're jealous
Hmm.
because Terrie-Ann have a house and she have a car. Don't be jealous. Position, now is the time for you. If you think you have missed it, now is the time for you to start preparing yourself. What can I do to get ready for my husband? What can I do to get ready for a house? Should I be saving money for my first down payment for a car? So as Denisha spoke about it, I really wanted to just drive that home, where start preparing yourselves so that when the opportunity comes, when that door
Right.
opens for you, that
Hmm.
divine door opens
Hmm.
for you, you are ready to walk through
Hmm.
and not turn back like Lot's wife, and you turn yourself, and you turn into, not you turn yourself, but you turn into a pillar of salt with hate, anger, jealousy, envy, etc., etc., etc.
Hmm.
Let's talk about maximizing our opportunities. I think we probably would have touched a little bit higher up, but we would just talk about it, some
Yeah, I think
elaborate
we
on it.
said a lot. We said
Yeah,
a lot. Um,
yeah,
but most importantly, actually not most importantly, another important thing is opportunity um reveals potential. So potential is hidden in opportunities.
yes,
And
Yes.
We mentioned a couple times the phrase seize the opportunity, carpe diem, seize the day. But
Easy.
it's Terry, I feel like we discussed this in so many different ways before. But
Yeah.
to maximize an opportunity, you first have to identify it. We told you how you should identify it. As long
Yeah.
as you identify that it's an opportunity for you, you capitalize on it. You
Mm.
take the initiative, you put the steps in, you put the work in so that you could live out that idea in that space of opportunity and then do it to your best. It may not be perfect, but make progress, do things, right? And I mentioned it earlier and I'm going to repeat it again, but opportunities stop the prepared. If you're prepared, there's a vast amount of potentials and possibilities for you, right? And that's how you live in maximizing it. It starts with preparation. You're identifying that, yes, this is really an opportunity here, and then
Yeah.
you acting it out. So seizing it means you don't just say, hey, that's a good opportunity, and then go back to what you were doing. No, you do what is necessary. So I can't think of a fresh example now, so I'm going to go back to Terrie-Ann's example where she felt the frustration, which is a pain point at her job, and she saw the opportunity to start a business. And
Mm-hmm.
here we are at Sister Talk Live. I'm pretty sure that when she started, she didn't think that this is where it was going to be
Mm-hmm.
with her and her beautiful co-host.
Yeah.
But she had an idea and she started. And over time, she perfected it. She learned things, she got better, and she did things differently. And it's going to grow. So maximizing your opportunity now, you have to give yourself room and grace to grow. It
Yeah.
probably would not start off the way you would want it, but it cannot grow if you don't start at some place,
True.
right? So we need to kill that perfection bug, that thing that tells us we need to have a soundproof studio with all the lights and a videographer. That
Yeah.
word sounds very hard to say.
It is. It's like a tongue twister.
Videographer. I got it. Videographer.
Videographer.
Right. With the lenses and a production guy saying cut. It's not gonna start like that.
Yeah.
Probably for you it will. But start where you are, start with what you have, and work your way up to what you want. I think that's part of maximizing opportunities, giving yourself the potential to grow within a space.
Yeah. I
What do
love
you think?
that. I love that. I love that you said that. And you said all, I mean, you said it all. I just want to just say that just to add to that is just prepare yourself, invest in yourself.
Mhm.
Invest in yourself. So if you need help, get help and prepare yourself. I mean, we have been talking about preparation for since the beginning of the show. So
Mhm.
just prepare yourself, invest in yourself, and go ahead and do it. It's going to be scary when you're going through that door. It's going to be scary. Man, I'm still going through some doors. I'm still preparing myself for those. I asking God, God, give me the discernment to see the opportunity and to seize the opportunity. So
Right,
all now I'm preparing myself for bigger and better and greater because I'm hungry. There's a
right,
hunger for more of what I want. There's a hunger to see myself come out from where I am. There's a hunger for me to do and to be better, to be a better person in my generation now so that my daughter could have a legacy. So
right.
there are a lot of things that you need to do. And I also just want to say that, don't be afraid. Ask God for help, ask Him to guide you, ask Him for the discernment, and just allow Him to lead you.
Do you think this
Story
is a nice time?
time.
I was just gonna say, do you think this is a good time for story time?
Story time.
I'm kind of straddling between two different stories to work on and to share with you. I'm not sure which way I'm gonna go, but
Story
so
time.
the story goes, right? There's this woman in the Bible, and her husband died, and she had two sons, and her husband left her in debt, like a lot of debt.
Yeah.
So, you know, back in the day, the men worked and the woman took care of the house, right? So she took care of the home. She had her two boys with her. Her husband worked and he did a lot, but he did a lot of debt too. And he died. So now she's left, woman, two sons, and the woman didn't work back in those times. So now she has all this debt and the creditors are on her back to the point where they threatened her that they were going to take her sons and sell them into slavery so she could pay off her husband's debt. And that, as we would have mentioned earlier, that was a point of frustration. It
Yeah.
was uncomfortable. It
Yeah.
was a point of pain because now she's left without a husband. She's left without a means of income. And whereas she could have sent the boys off to work, now they're threatening to take them and sell them. So then she's going to be left alone.
Yeah.
And then came the opportunity. The man of God came to her and she told him of what was going on in and around her. And do you know the man did not give the woman money? He
No,
went
he
and
didn't.
he went and he prayed. You know, like you're in a time of real serious frustration and people come tell you, let me pray for you. No, honey, I don't need prayers. I
I
need
need
some money. I need
I
some
need
money,
money. Yeah.
right? Or I need some food. Don't pray for me. Feed me.
Yeah.
But the man of God prayed for her. And then he said to her, what do you have in your house? And she said, nothing except two vessels, two big jugs or whatever. And he prayed over the jugs and he told her what to do. So he went and told her to go to her neighbors. Could you imagine you're in a point of distress and you have to go and beg people?
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I'm highly bothered by that.
Yes, me
Right?
too.
Right. So she had to go beg. I'm not even saying ask because it's story time, so I have to be animated. So she had to go beg people for help.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
they gave her vessels. They gave her of the kind of thing that she had. That's a point to note, right? So she had like two vessels and her neighbors gave her more. And then she had like a little bit of oil in a mug. And the man of God gave her crazy instructions, told her to just pour the oil and fill the jugs up. Listen,
Yeah.
listen.
Yeah.
If I have this cup with a little bit of water in it, there is no way by logic it's going to fill this,
Yeah.
right?
Come
But
on now. Come on now.
his crazy instruction to her was to take the little this and fill this up. And
Yep.
she listened. And do you know that she poured oil into those jugs until all the jugs were filled and she had no more jugs left? And that
Yeah.
may sound weird, but
Wow.
she was able to sell oil. And it may not sound like anything to you because when I think oil, I think cooking oil. But I
Yeah.
want you to think about crude oil, the
Yeah.
oil that causes wars and that
Yeah.
nations fight over. I
Yeah.
want you to think about that kind of oil.
Yeah.
And because this woman was able to capitalize on an opportunity to seek God through the man of God, because she was willing and obedient to not let her place of discomfort and pain bring her down, she was able to identify the one thing that she had that
Yeah.
was able to launch her into a business that
Yeah.
paid her debts off and caused her and her sons to live comfortably for the rest of their lives. Let me tell you the point of this story and what came home to me.
Beautiful.
Use what you have. A lot of times we have all these big grand ideas and that's not bad, but you need to start where you are and start with what you have. And going back to that woman, I do believe it was in the book of Kings, her story was she was able to, in a place of pain, become, I am saying, a multimillionaire. If
Yeah.
she had all this oil that she was able to sell, pay creditors, and live off for the rest of her life, listen, the woman had to be in her millions.
Yeah.
And sometimes it just takes simply what you have and faith to multiply it. But we're looking for other things and we're looking for other opportunities and we're creating all these excuses. But
Yeah.
if this story spoke anything to you, start where you are with the idea that you have and do that idea to the best of your ability. Keep God in the midst of it and watch
Yeah.
God work things out for you. That's my story today.
I love it. That's such a beautiful story. And as you were saying it, I was like, yes, I remember that story. And it's so profound for now. So I just want to leave you guys with two affirmations that I have here. I want to speak it over you. And I also want you to type it in the comments. Type it in the comments now. Go ahead and do that. So life is not happening to me. Life is happening for me. Life is not happening to me. Life is happening for me. You are not a victim of your circumstance. I am not a victim of my circumstance. I am not a product of my environment. You are not a product of your environment. And this last one is that I said two, right? I'll give you three. I give you three, I'll give you
Go
four.
ahead.
All right. So I declare I will never miss another opportunity in my life. Today is the last day I will miss an opportunity. So say, I declare I will never miss another opportunity a day in my life. Today is the last day I will miss another opportunity. Guys, we just want to say thank you so much for being here with us today. We appreciate you very much for always joining us since we started Sister Talk. You have been here with us, and we just want to say thank you. Thank you very much for being here. Bye-bye now.
Wow, guys, what a session we just had. I want to take this time to thank you guys for sitting and joining with us and engaging with us in the comment section. We hope that something we said would have stayed with you. And if there was some nugget of wisdom that you took away or something that you felt resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it in the comments, but most importantly, share it with a friend. Tag someone. Let them know what's going on over here in this community. And run on over to our YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe as we build a community of women who would continue to inspire and empower each other. Before you leave, and before I send you off for the rest of the week, I just want to speak over you that God would give you the capacity to see, to seize, and to capitalize on every opportunity so you would never experience a missed opportunity in your life. Thank you so much for joining us, and do have yourself a very blessed week. Bye.